Hello! So today I'm going to ferment carrots with cabbage together. And if you're new to fermentation, I would say this is one of the best dishes or one of the best ferments you can start with, because it's a very simple one and it goes well with most of dishes. So the reason why I started fermenting food and eating some ferment every day is mainly because of its health benefits. As a part of the fermentation process, probiotics are produced, and this is basically good bacteria, which is very beneficial for our gut health. So that is why I eat a little bit of ferments every day, or at least try to have a little bit every day, whether that's in form of fermented vegetables, drinks, or whatever else it can be. But it does have to contain the live bacteria, so the probiotics part of it. Right, so let's get right into it.
Okay, so I have everything ready here. So this is a good quality Himalayan salt, caraway seeds, and this is my fermentation jar with one-way air release vent, and I will talk about this jar a little bit more later on. And I got one good-sized cabbage here and a few carrots. So this actually filled up one of my fermentation jars, and I had a little bit left over. I probably used a little bit too many carrots, I would say, but I do like carrots, so it really depends, whether you want more cabbage or more carrots, or kind of half and half. It doesn't really matter. So obviously, salt is very important in fermentation process, as it allows for the fermentation process to happen, and also it's making sure that no harmful bacteria is present in the ferment. So it's very important and recommended to get a good quality salt without any artificial additives in the salt, because these artificial additives can interfere with the fermentation process. So I'm using normally pink Himalayan salt, but there are also other high quality salt which you can get. Also, in terms of the amount of the salt, it's very easy. It is basically 2% from the weight of the vegetables. So for example, in my case, it was 1,600 grams of carrot and cabbage sliced together. So I used 32 grams of salt to ferment these vegetables. In terms of the fermentation jar, so I have mentioned that my fermentation jar comes with one-way air release vent. So this just is making sure that all the gases that the fermentation process is producing are released automatically. So it's one way. So the vent is releasing it without me worrying about it. So I just put it in a cupboard and I just don't worry about it. So normally, if you don't have this, you should really check on it and make sure that you burp the jar, so it doesn't basically explode on you if you just leave it there and don't look at it. So yeah, this is the main reason why I like these jars with one-way air release vent. So as you can see here, I'm actually using a blender to cut all my vegetables, because I'm a bit lazy like that. I just like to be quick with it, and this really saves me a lot of time than doing it manually. But I do think you can probably get nice longer slices of the cabbage, especially if you actually slice it manually. So it really depends on your preference, and I guess how much time you have to produce this. I also always try to use organic cabbage, organic carrots, as you know, you just basically getting the highest quality ingredients where possible. As I have already mentioned, I'm going to use caraway seeds, and also I'm actually going to add some peppercorns into this ferment, and it's completely up to you. You can add any spices really you would like to, any herbs to it as well. And yeah, completely depends on your taste. So you're just going to ferment nicely all together. So as you can see here, I'm just weighing all the cabbage and carrots, which came to 1,600 grams, which I have actually already mentioned. And after this, I'm going to add salt, which again, it is 2% of the overall weight of vegetables. So in this case, it was 32 grams. So I'm adding my caraway seeds before the pounding process, which is not normally the way I do it. I'm not really sure why I've done that, but never mind. So here we go now. The fun part begins, the pounding process, which is critical because it will extract the water needed for the fermentation process. If you basically simply add water without extracting the water from the cabbage, you will end up with an imbalance of water to salt ratio, which will result in your ferment failing. So make sure you release that water from your vegetables, as that will ensure your fermentation process will be successful. Not sure you can see that, but I was just trying to show that there is plenty of water released from the vegetables. Sometimes it actually can look like there might not be enough, but you will clearly see once you transfer it to your fermentation jar whether there is enough water or not, because basically once you fill in your jar, make sure you pound it down again, and as you look into your jar you will see whether that's covered in water or not. When I basically made it for the first time, I really thought I have not got enough water in the bowl, but actually once I transferred it to the fermentation jar there was plenty of water. So just make sure you squeeze it in properly, that it's all covered in the salty water, because that is really what you need, and the whole vegetables to the top needs to be covered in this salty water, as again that will ensure your fermentation process is successful. I'm also going to use one cabbage leaf to basically push all the vegetables down and make sure that they are covered in the salty water. So that's it really. My ferment is ready to be stored in a dark place, in a cupboard, in a room temperature, and I'm going to leave it there for at least 2 weeks. So it really depends on what kind of flavor you're looking for. So longer you basically leave your vegetables to ferment, stronger the flavor will become. You can also leave it in your cupboard to ferment for less than 2 weeks. So really you just have to see and try what kind of taste you prefer. But normally it's recommended to leave your vegetables to ferment from 2 to 6 weeks. So this is my old cabbage and carrots I'm showing there. It lost a little bit of its color. So enjoy and thanks for watching!